Good morning, students. Welcome back to today's session class. As you know that, still now we cover the topic of velocity. Those are follow our classes of Bhowmik online class platforms. Please try to follow all our classes and subscribe our channels. Today we study the new concept of acceleration. So, before I starting the topic of acceleration, let us discuss what is the basic concept of speed and the velocity. So what is speed we learn? The speed is it's a physical quantity, or you can say it's like a basic idea how an object travels a particular path with respect to time. That means speed equal to distance over the time taken, right? And what is the velocity we learn? Velocity means an object travel a particular directions. That means velocity means displacements over the time taken. So now what is acceleration? Acceleration is a concept. Let us consider a car traveling a straight line. Consider a car traveling a straight line, right? It starts its journey from the initial positions, from the rest position, and it starts to moving a particular direction. Is moving in a particular direction, right? With respect to time taken. As we learn, when an object travels towards a direction, that is the concept of velocity, right? So now what is acceleration? Acceleration concept means when an object travels a particular direction from the initial rest to the moving position and reaches a particular destination which has a proper direction, which has changed its velocity. When velocity changes, that means on that moment of time an object's accelerated, means acceleration exists. Clear the concept? So acceleration means is denoted with the letter of A, means let us consider the vehicle started its initial position, that is called initial velocity. And reach the destination at the point of B, that's called final velocity. Is denoted with V and is denoted with U. So what is the concept of acceleration? Acceleration means when an object, let us example a car traveling a certain distance with a proper directions, initially it starts that's 0 meter per second over the respect of time t. After a few moment of time, it travels at the positions of 10 meter per seconds with respect of time, say example of 5 seconds. So what is acceleration? Acceleration means changing velocity, that is v minus u, that is final velocity, minus initial velocity over the time taken t. So we can write what is acceleration? Changes velocity with respect to time, that is called acceleration. So when velocity changes, acceleration exists, right? And what is the unit of acceleration? As you know that Let us consider final velocity is 10 here and initial velocity is 0 and time taken is 5 is meter per second over the per seconds. If we cut like 10 over the time of 5, if we carry second as a denominator, it will come meter per second square. So if you cut the value here, 2 meter per second square. So meter per second square is the standard unit of acceleration. I hope everyone clear. So what is acceleration? Acceleration means when an object, in a particular car or in any kind of vehicles travels particular path and it changes its velocity. It may be two concept of times. Number one, if an object travel, let us example of 30 km per hour at a constant speed and changes its direction and reach the destination point of B from the initial position A to the final destination positions B, and speed here as a constant. Speed here as a constant. So do you think if speed constant, is it an object accelerated from the point A to the point B? What do you think? Is it accelerated? Yes. Why? Because due to the change of direction. Due to the changes of direction. So when an object, when a vehicle, let us say on a car, let us example a car traveling a certain distance, a constant speed, after that it changes its direction, that means changing of velocity. That means velocity changes means nothing but of acceleration exists. Acceleration exists. Clear? So what is acceleration? Acceleration means changing velocity over the time taken is called acceleration. Is denoted with the letter of A is equal to final velocity, that is V, minus initial velocity, that is U, over the time taken, that is T. And what is the unit of acceleration? Meter per second square. Now the question arises, if a car traveling a certain distance with 10 meter per second speed, after comes a certain distance, driver brakes the car. Is it acceleration exist? Or you can say, is it acceleration decrease or increase? It's acceleration decreases. That means here your final velocity decreases. Let us say example, speed breaks up, automatically speed reduces 5 meter per second. So your acceleration will come, acceleration is equal to your, after initial to the your come to the normal speed, it will come, your initial velocity is 10 meter per second, and your after the vehicle brakes the car by the driver, your velocity decreases. That means your final velocity here, how much? 5, and your initial velocity here, how much? 10. Over the time taken, say example of 5 seconds. So minus 5 over the 5 meter per second square. The answer will come negative. That is, when accelerations decreases, or you can say that the value of acceleration is come to the negative points, it's called negative acceleration or retardation. It's called retardations, or called say negative accelerations, when when the speed of a vehicle decreases. That means velocity decreases. That means it is called negative accelerations, or you can say that retardations. Right? So what you learned today? Acceleration means change in velocity over the time taken. That means when a particular objects, stationary objects travel a certain distance with respect to time, the velocity changes. Either it should be speed constant, or you can say that changing the directions, then velocity changes. That is the concept of accelerations exist on a particular stationary objects. So what is this numerical forms? Accelerations denoted with A is equal to final velocity minus initial velocity, that is u, over the time taken t. Unit is meter per second square. I hope everyone clear the concept of acceleration. So till now what you learn? The first concept of motion. So what is motion? Motion means an object changes its positions with respect to time from rest to the moving positions. After that we learn there are two concepts of motions. Number one, the study of motion is called mechanics. It can divide two parts. One is dynamics, another is kinematics. So what is dynamics? Dynamic means like the causes, the basic causes. What is the reason behind it? The motions exist, and the study and the phenomena of the motions, nothing but of kinematics. Motions we have divided, like classify one dimensions, two dimensions, three dimensions, right? And like uniform motions, when an object travels equal distance in equal intervals of time is called uniform motions. Unequal distance with respect to equal intervals of time, that is the concept of non-uniform motions. That's why uniform motions is graph is like a straight line and non-uniform motion like a curved line, right? After that we learn the basic concept of speed, then velocity. So what is speed? Speed is a physical quantity from which we can learn an object travel a certain distance, either it's faster or maybe slower moving. That is total distance over the time taken with called average speed, or you can say speed is equal to distance over the time taken where there has no particular direction. That's why it's a scalar quantity. After that we learn velocity. What is velocity? Velocity means displacement over the time taken when there is a particular direction. That is the concept of distance and the displacement. That means distance cannot be a zero and displacement is possible zero when there is the opposite directions, right? After that we learn acceleration, velocity and acceleration. Velocity means, as I told, displacement over the time taken, and what is accelerations? When the changes of velocity with respect to time, that is the concept of acceleration. So what is acceleration? Acceleration means changing velocity with respect to time, or you can say the rate of change of velocity with respect to time, that is called acceleration, is denoted with a alphabetical letter, is equal to final velocity, that is v, minus initial velocity u over the time taken t. And what is the unit of accelerations? That is meter per second square. When accelerations comes to the negatives, or you can say decreases of the velocity, is called retardations, or you can say negative accelerations. That means on that moment of time, accelerations will, the value will come negatives, right? So that's all today, guys. Today after this much, I will continue my classes. You try to follow our online classes. Before I leave my classes, I wanna request to everyone, please like, share and subscribe our channel. You can go through YouTube's and type Bhowmik online class, and you can go through it all the faculty's classes. Please try to subscribe our channels, subscribes and shares with all your friends. It will help you. If any queries, any kind of doubts, already I share my WhatsApp number, that is 9862604. 4867. Please write comments and queries, whatever doubts. I try to help you in all kind of problems regarding the concept of physics as well as maths. So that's all today. Jovani Hambai, and take care yourself due to corona pandemic situations. Have a nice day. Bye bye.